John, here at the Munster Championship launch, it's just around the corner now. I'm sure you're looking forward to getting back into action.
Yeah, we're back with the last week training now, getting our preparations ready for the 19th of May, and it's fast approaching. Just 3 weeks now, less than 3 weeks to the block. So, yeah, we're very much looking forward to it. It'll be hugely challenging again, but that's why we're involved.
I'm sure you would have watched a lot of the club championship as well. I suppose there's not an inch given in that championship, and great preparation to keep going and go through the competitive games coming into the Munster Championship.
Yeah, the guys went back to their clubs for 3 weeks, which was a great break for everybody, really, to freshen things up. We had a very busy spring, very enjoyable spring, but ultimately, you can't maintain that right the way through the year. So it was great to let everybody back to their clubs, and brilliant to see the lads performing so well for their clubs as well. That was, really important to the group, that the lads went back and were really competitive with their teams at home. And we're just back with the last week, as I said, now, and knuckling down, getting out of preparations.
Obviously, you've a lot of players that were involved in a league success not so long ago. Do you look at cutting down the panel a bit ahead of championship?
Yeah, that has happened, that has taken place, but ultimately our core group is what we have, and as we're always looking to expand that group and get others involved, that takes time, and so players will come and maybe move off and maybe come back in again at a later stage. So it's a real challenge. It's a competitive group, so it's hard to break into it.
You come into the championship in what's going to be a hugely competitive championship. You come in after the first game week has already taken place. Do you see that as an advantage, or does that matter at all?
Listen, I don't believe there's any advantage or disadvantage. It is what it is. Ultimately we play 4 games. There's 2 points going for each game. You've got to gather as many points as you can along the way. So it's not something that we're in any way concerned about. We know that the bottom line is our first game is against Cork on the Gaelic grounds, and there's 2 points up for grabs that day. And we're very much looking forward to getting out there and trying our damnedest to get those 2 points.
You talked about the majority of the panel don't have a Munster medal. Is that a driving force? I know they won't need much coming into a championship campaign, but is that something that's good to have as a driving force, that they'll want to get that medal?
Listen, I think the Munster Championship is widely recognised around the country as being an incredible competition, a very important competition, and these guys are privileged to be part of it, and we only have to look at last just to see how competitive it is, and how small little margins like a ball off a post can actually change the course of history in that championship. So I think ultimately, yes, the players obviously have huge regard for the competition. We will want to win as much as we possibly can, but we know how difficult that is and the challenge it is. So we'll just take it one day at a time. We'll fight for our points as we're going along. We'll see where we are at the end of game 4.
And obviously last year's format was the first time it was introduced. Any learnings from that format going into this year that you wouldn't have maybe picked up on last year, you wouldn't even have the chance?
I think we'd ourselves well prepared for last year. Given we hadn't won a championship match in quite a length of time before that, getting 2 wins and a draw was a credible campaign for us in Munster, and it's hard to get the 3 wins, or let alone get 4. I don't know, will we ever see somebody win 4 matches out in the championship, but that remains to be seen. But it is a challenge, there's no 2 ways about that, but it's a wonderful challenge to be part of, and as I said, we'll take it one game at a time. We have our routines, we have probably analysed as many things as we can in terms of learnings that we can take from year to year, but they're all very, very small little things, and it's just about really sticking to your routines. That's the most important thing.
Last year's success, that's obviously that's parked now. That take the learnings from it, but it's really very much back to zero again, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Sure. Listen, everyone's on the exact same footing now, going into the championship, and it won't take very long before you could end up in a situation where you're out of the Munster Championship. It's over so fast. It's only a couple of weeks, so you have to be very, very focused going into those matches and fight for every single ball, because, as I said, the width of the goalpost could be the difference between qualifying and not.